2024 NBA offseason promises to be action-packed with numerous trades. Following the Boston Celtics championship win, the offseason is in full swing. Recent years have shown that nearly any player in the NBA is available for the right price. Few expected Jrue Holiday to be a trade candidate last offseason, but Milwaukee's desire to acquire Damian Lillard required them to make a significant trade. Similarly, Paul George's trade in 2019 was only feasible because Kawhi Leonard insisted on it. This trend highlights how the NBA has increasingly become a league driven by trades. With the exception of prime MVP candidates on championship contending teams, with several years of team control remaining, almost anyone can be traded. Naturally, some players are more likely to be moved than others. Even during the 2024 playoffs, speculation began about potential trades as teams prepare for the 2024-25 season. Here are 10 players who, for various reasons, are viable trade candidates this offseason. While not all of them will be traded, they are worth keeping an eye on. Category 1. Star players that seem very available. The following stars have actively featured in Try to Rumor so far this offseason. Number 1. Jimmy Butler of Miami Heat. Butler is reportedly seeking a 2-year maximum extension, but the Heat have so far been reluctant to offer him one. Meanwhile, other teams, including the Philadelphia 76ers, are reportedly willing to meet his demands. Trading away a star player would be unusual for the Heat, but if they want to acquire assets to pursue a younger star, they might need to consider moving Butler to reload. No. 2. Trey Young of Atlanta. Hawks. Atlanta's backcourt has struggled significantly over the past 2 seasons, and given his resume and youth, Young appears to have the higher trade value among the Hawks' top guards on the market. While interest has seemed lukewarm so far, 25-year-old 3-time All-Stars almost always generate substantial interest in the market. No. 3. Darius Garland of Cleveland Cavaliers. Garland's representatives at Clutch Sports are reportedly prepared to discuss a trade with the Cavaliers if Donovan Mitchell decides to extend his contract in Cleveland. The pairing of these two smaller, offense-focused guards has not been successful so far. Therefore, if Mitchell remains with the team, Garland becomes an obvious trade candidate. Number 4. Brandon Ingram of New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans are facing a luxury tax crunch, and with Herb Jones and Trey Murphy proving essential as starters alongside Zion Williamson, Ingram appears to be the odd man out. The Pelicans are likely to try to trade Ingram for a point guard or center before he becomes a free agent next offseason. Num. 5. DeJountemurray of Atlanta Hawks. The other Atlanta guard was available at the trade deadline, but many interested teams were limited in the number of draft picks they could offer. Some of these teams, including the Lakers, now have more assets to trade. If the Hawks prefer to make adjustments rather than a complete overhaul, Murray, rather than Young, is the more likely guard to be moved. Category 2. Star players that may or may not be available. The following stars are possible off-season trade candidates depending on what direction they or their teams choose to go in. No. 6. Karl-AnthonyTowns of Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are in a dire financial situation, and trading Towns is their only way to both significantly alter their roster and save money. Towns is a 4-time All-Star with a unique skill set as an elite shooting center who can also play power forward. However, his inconsistent playoff performance and enormous supermax contract make him a risky trade proposition. Given Minnesota's strong performance this season, they might be willing to pay a substantial luxury tax bill to keep the team intact. Number 7. Michael Porter Jr. of Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets have boasted the NBA's best starting lineup for 2 years, with Porter playing a significant role. However, he has underperformed in consecutive playoff runs, and the Nuggets face severe luxury tax issues. While they are unlikely to seriously consider trading Porter, he remains the most obvious candidate for a significant move due to his max contract and stalled development as an individual shot creator. Number 8. Donovan Mitchell of Cleveland Cavaliers. If Mitchell wants out, he'll get his trade. the Cavs won't retain an impending free agent who plans to leave, while current indications suggest he may extend his contract until it's officially signed. Mitchell remains a trade candidate. Number 9. Mikalbridges of Brooklyn Nets. The Rockets reportedly offered the Nets their first-round picks back for Bridges at the trade deadline. The Nets declined, believing they needed Bridges to attract a star player. However, with Mitchell potentially unavailable and one of those Brooklyn picks jumping to number 3 in this year's lottery, the Nets might reconsider. They have no immediate path to contention, and the clock is ticking on Bridges' affordable contract. Nom. 10. Jarrettallen of Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland's two small guards approach hasn't worked, but neither has its two non-shooting big man plan. Evan Mobley is the only core Cavalier that won't be discussed in trade talks this offseason, so if they want to balance the front court, Allen is the one who would move. Mobley played well at center in the playoffs, so Cleveland could feel comfortable moving their other high-end big. Category 3. Star players that probably won't move, but are worth a call. The following stars are not known to be available and haven't actively been featured in rumors, but are still worth a phone call. Number 11. Kevin Durant of Phoenix Suns. The Suns were knocked out in the first round, changed coaches, and have next to no roster maneuverability this offseason thanks to the second apron. Durant has sought new teams for far less in the past. The Suns seem determined to keep trying with this group, but if someone throws enough their way for Durant, they'd have to at least consider breaking up a team that did not meaningfully contend last season. Number 12. Kawhi Leonard of Los Angeles Clippers. So what do the Clippers even do if Paul George walks as a free agent? Sure, you could just run it back with Leonard and James Harden, but to what end? Do you really want to open the Intuit Dome with a 40-win team? The Clippers won't trade Leonard for the sake of trading him, but if anyone offers a way to help repair their desolate, draft pickless future, they'd have to at least consider it. Number 13. Lauri Markkanen of Utah Jazz. The Jazz have feigned interest in winning early in the past 2 seasons before operating as sellers at the trade deadline. They have no clear direction, and in a loaded Western Conference, it's hard to imagine them doing much more than contending for a play-in spot. They could use their extra draft capital to trade for a star and move up, but how many stars want to move to Utah? Trading Markkanen would load them up even further with draft ammo and allow them to wait out the current, older contenders in the West. To Danny Ainge especially, anyone is available for the right price. As the NBA offseason progresses, the focus on potential trade candidates intensifies. Among the 13 players identified as likely to be moved, these 13 players, who could be on the move this offseason, span from high-impact superstars to promising young talents and reliable veterans. Each potential trade carries the weight of reshaping team dynamics and altering the competitive landscape of the league. As the trade rumors swirl and negotiations unfold, fans and analysts alike eagerly await the decisions that will shape the upcoming NBA season. Please comment, like, and share your thoughts on which players you believe will be traded and the potential impact these moves could have on the league. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.